Well. Look who's back. Took a little sabbatical, folks. A bender, to be precise. Bad decisions. A few too many edibles, knocked me out for a couple days. Woke up questioning life, reality, and most importantly, why I thought eating an entire tray of brownies was a good idea. But we're back, sharper than ever, and diving headfirst into tonight's action. Game 1, Brooklyn Nets taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland sitting pretty at 54-10, riding a 14-game winning streak. While Brooklyn's over there at 21-42, trying to figure out if they should even bother unpacking their bags after road trips. The books ain't playing around either. Cavs are laying 17.5 points. That's a whole damn mountain of points. Like Vegas expects Brooklyn to roll over and beg. But here's the thing. This spread is inflated. Cleveland's elite, no doubt. Best defense in the league, dropping 122.9 points per game. Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, those boys are cooking. But this is the NBA, not a Harlem Globetrotters showcase. Even the worst teams have pride. Brooklyn, yeah, they're struggling. Ranked 29th in scoring at 105.1 ppg, barely scraping by offensively. But the defense, they allow 111.6 ppg. Ranking 11th in the league. Not exactly a turnstile. And let's not forget, Cleveland isn't flawless against the number. They're 0-1 ATS when favored by 17.5 or more. Blowouts are tricky business. We've all seen it. A team gets up big, calls off the dogs in the fourth, and suddenly the back door swings wide open for a cover. The total's sitting at 225, and while the Cavs push the tempo, Brooklyn has a way of dragging things into the mud. Could this game fly over? Maybe, but the safer play, taking our shot with the Nets plus 17.5. We're betting on pride. We're betting on effort. We're betting against a bloated line that assumes Cleveland is going to run Brooklyn out of the gym without breaking a sweat. And today's AI pick is Brooklyn Nets plus 17.5. Brooklyn ain't showing up to get steamrolled. They'll scratch, claw, and hustle, knowing the world expects them to fold. And if Cleveland gets too comfortable, that's when the game sneaks up on them. Vegas loves a big number, but it doesn't always love you back. This is the NBA, where garbage time points are golden. And 17.5 ain't just a number, it's a lifeline. We'll ride with the dog, knowing full well the bite is coming. We'll take our shot. Let's see how this one plays out. On to game 2.
Alright, next up, Detroit Pistons hosting the Washington Wizards. Now first off, Washington's on a back-to-back after playing the Raptors last night. That's a quick turnaround, and tired legs don't lie. Detroit? They're rolling into this one at 36-29, looking to lock up playoff positioning, while Washington's just trying to stay respectable. Vegas ain't taking it easy on 'em either. Pistons laying 14 points. That's a big number, but unlike Cleveland's line, it might just be justified. Detroit's offense is punching in 114.7 ppg, and defensively, they're holding teams to 113.1 ppg, right in the middle of the pack. Washington, on the other hand? They're letting teams drop 120.5 ppg on them, making them one of the worst defensive squads in the league. And here's where it gets spicy. Detroit covers. They're 37-28 ATS this season, handling business when expected. Meanwhile, Washington? They're 6-5 ATS when getting 14 or more. That's better than you'd think, but still shaky against a team with something to play for. The total sits at 232, and both squads have a history of hitting overs. Detroit's games have cleared that mark 30 times. Washington's 28 times. These teams combine for 9.8 points less than the total, so we could be walking a fine line. And today's AI pick is Detroit Pistons, 14. The Wizards are running on fumes. Detroit's got fresh legs and playoff motivation. You don't walk into Little Caesars Arena on a back-to-back and just expect to keep up. Tonight, Detroit handles business, keeps their foot on the gas, and puts Washington right where they belong. On to Game 3.
Los Angeles Clippers rolling into New Orleans to take on the Pelicans. Two teams, both sitting in the bottom half of the league in pace of play. And the Clippers, bottom 10. No shocker L. Hey. Loves to slow things down, grind out half-court sets, and make opponents earn every bucket. Expect more of the same tonight. Clippers are fresh off a thrilling 110-111 OT win over the Kings, marking their third straight victory. James Harden dropped 29, Zubac posted a 22-14 double-double, and this squad keeps finding ways to win. Sitting 8th in the Western Conference, they've got their sights set on climbing higher. But let's be real offensively, they're not lighting up the scoreboard. At 110.8 ppg, they rank 20th in the league. They space the floor well but rank bottom 10 in assists, signaling their heavy reliance on isolation plays. Shooting. Over 35% from deep, solid. Offensive rebounding. Not great when honest in second chance opportunities. Defense. That's where L.A. earns its keep. Allowing just 108.7 ppg, fourth best in the league if you a force inside. Top 5 in opponent paint scoring, and they don't give away free points, ranking 3rd in steals per game. They disrupt, apply pressure, and control the tempo. That's the blueprint: pressure, disrupt, dictate pace. On the other side, we've got New Orleans. Tough 107-104 loss to the Grizzlies, and that third quarter only 15 points dug them a hole they couldn't climb out of. Trey Murphy led with 27, Carlo Makovic added 13 and 11, but let's be honest, this offense is struggling to keep up. CJ McCollum, Zion Williamson, and Brandon Ingram are out. That's a major scoring void. Pelicans rank near the bottom in scoring at 109.2 ppg, and for good reason. They struggle inside, shoot poorly from 3, and don't get to the free throw line nearly as often as they should. But what they do well: attack the offensive glass. Nearly 13 offensive boards per game. When their shots don't fall, which happens often, they create second chance opportunities. Defensively. Different story. Allowing 117.2 ppg, they rank 25th in the league. That 8 scoring margin. One of the worst in the NBA. Interior defense. They give up nearly 53 points per game in the paint. Transition defense. Questionable. Closeouts. Inconsistent. Forcing turnovers. Not happening. Now, here's the key: this game should be slow and gritty. Both teams disrupt passing lanes, both teams struggle with second chance points, and both teams rank low in pace. Clippers will control the tempo, own the glass, and force New Orleans into tough possessions. And today's AI pick is under 220.5 L.A. Slows the game down. New Orleans lacks offensive firepower, and with so many empty possessions, don't expect fireworks. The under is where we plant our flag tonight.
Alright, let's run it back and recap the AI picks for tonight. Game 1, Cavaliers vs Nets. We saw that bloated line and took our shot with Nets plus 17.5. Too much respect for Cleveland, not enough for a Brooklyn team that's got some fight left in them. Game 2, Wizards vs Pistons. Washington's dragging in on a back-to-back. Detroit's got the fresher legs and playoff motivation. We're rolling with Pistons, 14 to handle business at home. Game 3, Clippers vs Pelicans. Two teams that play slow, one team missing firepower, and a game script that screams dead possessions. We're locking in under 220.5 and expecting a grind. 3 picks, all locked and loaded. Now, if you've been feeling the heat from these AI picks, do the right thing. Hit that like button, drop a comment, and make sure you're subscribed. That's a wrap for tonight. But we ain't going anywhere. We'll see you in the next video.